All right, welcome to, I believe, episode 73 of My FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there's a blog, myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. And sometimes, I don't know what the deal is, myfxbuddies.com with the HTTPS. Sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what the deal is with that, but whatever. RSS.com has a transcript. You can go there and look for my FX Buddies, but also I've been trying to put a link to that on YouTube in the YouTube More box. So, hello YouTube. I need to? Well, anything that I talk about, cover, show is used under the Fair Use Disclaimer Act. And it's for teaching, critique, sharing, commentary. Okay, but if you are watching on YouTube, you are really not watching, you're listening. And if you'd like to see the articles that I talk about, especially this one, I have a category called Isn't This Interesting? I'll do my best to describe it, but you may want to go to the blog to see it. So if you look under the box that appears to look like a video, you'll see the word more. Click on the word more. Another little box opens and there's links in there. But most importantly is the one that goes to the blog where the actual video is. Or if you are on Rumble, my FX Buddies, we're there on Rumble. But then you don't see the articles. So the blog is the best place to go because everything is there. The video's there. The articles are there. All right. It is Saturday. It is June 22nd, 2024. I hope you had a good first Saturday of summer. I sure did. All right. So this is covering, there was hardly any news. You know, that's why I didn't post because there was nothing really worthy. So, and remember they were on holiday. The holiday's over. So they're back and they're posting. And then tomorrow is actually the day, official go back to work day, June 23rd. So I wanted to post today because who knows what tomorrow will bring? Isn't that what the song says? All right, so let's get into it. So the title article of this is Finance Begins Distributing Estimates of the State's Current Expenditures, Revenues, and Public Investment Projects. This is good. And it has indications of we'll see. So let's get into it. Boy, look at this. The title's here 3 times. Whatever. So today, Saturday, the Ministry of Finance announced the start of distributing estimates of the state's current expenditures, revenues, and investment projects for the year 2024. The Budget Department calls on all ministries, governance, and entities not affiliated with the ministry. So that's everybody, right? That's got to cover everybody. So they're calling on them to send their authorized representatives tomorrow, Sunday, for the purpose of receiving estimates of current, blah, 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 that were approved by the House of Representatives on June 3rd. So this is actually the budget amendments, right? Because the budget was approved last year, right? Okay, and then here's a different version. It has a little bit more information. It says this step comes as part of the government's efforts to improve financial planning and ensure a fair distribution of resources in a way that enhances the quality of public services and contributes to achieving sustainable development in all regions of Iraq. So they want everybody to come there. But I'm wondering if someone's in the very southern part of Iraq and they have to go to, I presume, Baghdad, is that like a 8-hour trip, 12-hour trip? I don't know. But I bet you they'll go there. And then it's kind of, when I first read it, I was like, oh, they're going to give them money. And then when I read it again, I was like, maybe they're going to give them a document saying this is what you're estimated to get, right? You never know. You never know with Iraq. But I'm hoping that it's the actual money they're going to get, right? That would be great. So we'll see. I will definitely be looking for that. So this came out today. So we're going to go. Now this article came out on June 20th. And this is this the one that I call gibberish? Yes. So you go here if you like. You read this and see if it tells you anything. But financial control. We are about to build a new strategy. Okay, that sounds great. But for what? But the word imminent, I think, is here in this article like 6 times. Imminent and implementation. But it seems they're just making new committees, 2 new committees, and they're going to do reports and then return the reports into the integrity ministry. That's what it seems like to me. Anyway, so I can't tell you how frustrating that article is for me. So here, this article is from June 21st. America. Anyway, America, we are working with Iraq to create a favorable environment for our companies. Okay? Forget everybody else's companies. And it says, what are the obstacles? So, same thing, but it's always good. The obstacles are the same thing. Corruption, but we always like to hear them working for security, moving forward, basically. So it's a U.S. Commerce Department official announced that the United States is working closely with Baghdad to create a favorable environment for American companies to operate in Iraq. So I'm thinking once we get us straight, then we'll let the other countries come in. Although China is pretty strong there, right? Okay, so I have this. The American official said we are working closely with the Iraqi government to create a favorable environment, not only for oil companies, but also for companies in various sectors included in the development of Iraq. So yeah. All right. And then, also that will open further investment opportunities. All right. Here's a nice article not everyone will care to read, but economic clarification. Why do Iraq's reserves not rise despite the rise in oil prices? So to me, this is citizen education because they are posting, they're posting a lot more economic information daily on their business websites, even the TV shows, and oil is now one of the things that they post. It's been a while. It started last year, but because Basra, they quote the Basra oil price. They do Brent. Sometimes they do WTI, but yeah. So if they're putting that out, then the people are probably watching the price of oil, right? Because the price of oil fluctuating is gonna affect the distribution of oil funds that they get, I think, right? I don't know, but okay, so let's see. This is Mahmoud Dagger. That name may sound familiar because I like his last name, because that's how I pronounce it, Dagger. Who knows how they say it? And here he is down here, and he's actually been given a position on one of the websites. He's going to do a weekly, I think it's him. He's an economic expert, but he's going to do a weekly, posting, I guess, on this website. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Oh, because he's supposedly going to talk about concerns of the Iraqi people from the street. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. This is here's the isn't this interesting? And I don't know why these letters are so big. You know, me and technology. But anyway, so I have here, look at the money in this picture. The article doesn't mention the money that's in the picture at all. So it's a Market Watch article, and I have the link to it here. And you should be able to read it for free, especially if you don't go there. Like I have, I pay, well, one of my boys pays for me. It's not like my Mother's Day present. Wall Street Journal, no, Bloomberg. I pay for Wall Street Journal because it's like $1 a week. One of my sons pays Bloomberg for me. Then my other son pays for this Market Watch, and something else is tied into it. Anyway, not that you needed to know that, but yeah. But anyway, so if you want to see for yourself, so here's the title of this Market Watch article. The unwinding of the carry trade has been a major talking point with clients recently, says a strategist from TD Securities. And so what they talk about here is the Mexican peso to the USD. And it is a good article, actually, if you follow foreign currencies other than dinar. But they also talk about France, South Africa, India. You don't hear Iraq, though, do you? Do you hear me say Iraq? France. But what is this in the picture they used? That, my friends, is Iraqi dinar. And a bunch of it. So this is 10,000. I'm not sure what this one is. This is the 50,000. These look like either the thousands or the 250s. More 10,000s. And then these are probably 25K notes because they look pink or red. And I'm not sure what that is. But why is there a picture of the Iraqi dinar in an article that does not mention it? Oh, here's the title. Sorry. A popular Wall Street currency trade is getting hit by geopolitical uncertainty. I apologize. That is the title. So geopolitical, right away, I was like, oh, this must be about the dinar. But when I read it, it was about Mexico. I was like, there's nothing geopolitical going on in Mexico. There's that. Now, actually, the peso is down right now. Well, apparently it goes in cycles. It goes down every June, but it went down a lot because the president that they voted in, the woman president, but it's not just because she's a woman. There's other controversies linked to her winning. I'll just say that. And so it took a hit. I think I talked about this already because there's a video. What's this man's name? His channel is semi-retired in Mexico or something like that. And he brought in an expert to talk about that. But anyway, let's move on. Okay, so now we're back to today. Today's articles. The budget is considered numbers on paper. So they're like, it's a joke, right? It's just numbers on paper because they know it's going to change, right? And so if you read that, you could read that, but it's like, why read it? They're telling you, okay, here's what we're working with now, but It's just numbers. It's just numbers on a paper. So I thought that was interesting. Um, so I'm not sure if you're paying attention to what's going on with ice cream land and pizza land, right? But ice cream hit, well, the area that's a four-letter word that starts with a G. Yeah, they hit them pretty hard this morning in two different places. So that's not good. And yesterday there was a spontaneous combust. I'm trying not to say certain words, right? What's a kablooey? There was a kablooey, right, on the Syrian-Iraq border. And of course, if they just left it alone, and just said, we don't know who did it, but someone did it. But no, they have, oh, it was a weapons depot that just spontaneously combusted because of the heat. No, we know that. It is hot over there. It's 122, 126 during the day, in the 80s at night. But that's nothing new to them. And you would think if they were going to build a weapons depot, they would know how to do it to, endure the heat. So that happened. And of course, we denied that we did it. But I guess I can say Russia. They're showing every country can, I guess, access the satellite imagery. And they showed some kind of imaging, and they're saying from that imagery, it looks like the international coalition. So, but that's basically us. That's another name for us. They're saying we did it. So it's not good. And then they're ramping up for, let me see the last article down here. The Iraqi resistance held a meeting. Okay, they held a meeting. And you should read this. Maybe if there's time, I might come back and read this. Okay, so they're getting ready. They're like, hey, your 4 months are up, to Sadani, right? Telling Sadani, we gave you 4 months. You don't have a plan to get the international coalition out. So we'll do it. Okay, thank you very much. So that's happening. But there also is talk of expanding to Lebanon. The ice cream land is going to start missions, quote unquote missions, in Lebanon. And Kurdistan, Kuwait told their people, hey, get your butts out as soon as possible. And someone else, another country too, sent out an advisory to their citizens to leave Lebanon. Maybe us. I think us. Even though, they got up there on the cameras and said, we advise against escalating or, advancing. But, ice cream land is not listening to us, right? Okay, so there's that. And of course, that does not, in my opinion, that does not fare well for the RV, but hopefully I'm wrong. All right, so we just read that. So, let's see. That's good news, but we're going to skip that. So I'm not really going to cover a lot of these articles because I don't want to keep you more than 30 minutes because it's Saturday. So this was pretty big news. Sadani talks about the stage after the end of the international coalition's missions in Iraq. So he's trying to talk about it. He's trying to say, hey, I have a plan. Give me some time. Look, we got all this new tools, but that's not the word I want to use. Tools, technology to fight, other ways. But the Iraqi, the IRGC, they're not having it. They're like, talk, talk, talk. We want action. So you could read that if you like. Here's my one commercial, but we don't have time to talk about that. Okay, an economist talks about the mechanism for overcoming the budget deficit. I believe he says yes. He gives, it's very short, but it says the deficit is hypothetical. So there you go. And I thought how fitting that was with the first article that says, oh, the budget is just numbers on paper. All right. Here I think is more citizen education, parliamentary economy, but it's the Oil and Gas Committee. They confirmed that the fluctuation in oil prices does not affect the Iraqi economy. But yeah, right. And it's just 3 sentences, so that may be a significant article. Usually when they're little tiny articles like that, they usually have a big impact, but I don't know. So we'll see. This is another article that they have all over the place. They definitely want the citizens to read, but it has a lot of legal stuff and quotes, Article 35 of law number of this year, right? So not everyone's going to read that. But here's the title, if you want to read it. Government Advisor. Sovereign guarantees to the private sector will contribute to the industrial renaissance. Like that. They've been using that a lot, renaissance, for a couple of months. And yeah, they want to be sovereign, right? They want to be. Okay, here is an excellent article that is an opinion piece. This guy is I tried to put his picture, but it won't let me. And then it also had his name. He's a economic researcher. But creating money, right? That is the title. So I said this is definitely Iraqi citizen education. It says central banks issue their local currencies for 3 reasons. So anyone could read this. I sent it to my boys. Who knows if they're going to read it or not. But because people really don't understand how money's created. A lot of people don't. And here is, they're moving the Iraqi citizens, the Iraqi economy. They're moving it into a new era, period, whatever. And there's a lot of things that the citizens have to learn and have to learn fast. All right, and then here's another article, probably like that, changes in the digital economy and their impact in Iraq. And they did let me put his picture here, and he's a researcher in finance and development affairs, and he's an academic. And there's his name. He has 4 names. And I can't say any of them. I can say Ali, but that's, that's about it. So again, this is talking about digital economy. I don't think it talked about, it may hint, so he's trying to get them to understand technology, and you see how well that's working, right? Have you seen all the hacks? The car company hack, CDK, I think that was. Right now in a city, an entire city or state is down. The hospitals and stuff are down because of a cyber attack. Yeah, so technology is so wonderful, isn't it? And Ecuador, I don't know if you saw that, the whole country of Ecuador has no power. At least it didn't as of yesterday. It went dark, and I think it's 3 days now. But maybe they've gotten that corrected. I don't know. But anyway, so here he has some points here. Bridging the global digital divide, preparing for the jobs of the future, the importance of developing safe and reliable digital systems. Good luck with that. More funding to provide internet services and IT applications for all. So yeah, I think it may touch on CBDC, but that's not the main point. The main point is to educate them on digital transformation. All right, so I think we're done. Yep, because here's that last. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you. And then there's one other thing I'm going to show you, and then we'll be done. So here, the Iraqi resistance, I think they are IRGC. But whatever. Coordination committee. They have a coordination committee. They had a meeting, but look at their statement. The coordination committee discussed the opportunity granted to the government over 4 months ago to schedule the withdrawal of U.S. forces from Iraq. The attendees emphasized the need to continue efforts to achieve national sovereignty. This comes after the enemy's procrastination and, I can't say this word, but it's a form of obstination. So there, it's a form of that, right? Instead of a TE, it has a CY. And I don't know why I can't say that, but I can't. So procrastination and obstination, which has allowed them to remain occupiers of our land, infringers of our airspace, controllers of our security and economic decisions, and interferers in Iraq's affairs with impunity and arrogance, as if they are unaware of what awaits them after this period. So, yeah, those are not nice names for us, right? Infringers of our airspace. But you see, controllers of our security and economic decisions. You see that? So these people aren't dumb. They definitely see what's going on. So yeah, that's not good. But, it is what it is. And those are the things we have to keep our eyes on, because my belief, these are part of the things holding up what we're waiting for. All right, so then also I wanted to show you this little gem here. I'm not going to read this because there's a big word right there that gets you blocked and shut down. But demands to expel diplomats who support that word from Iraq. Because, see, there's people that don't believe when I tell them, even though you can go look it up, money that comes from the IMF and the World Bank comes with strings attached. Oh, you want this money? Okay. You have to teach your children this. You have to implement birth control. You have to approve lifestyles that ordinarily you wouldn't approve of. You have to fly this flag that ordinarily you wouldn't fly. So I hope you know what I'm talking about. But so this is just another thing that is there that could be, it's definitely causes friction, but I don't think it's stopping me, what we're waiting for. But I just want you to see that everything is not all hunky-dory. Look at that technical term. Don't you just love that? Hunky-dory. And that is not going away. All right, so that's it. That is it. So we'll wait till I probably, if this thing with the budget dispersing, or what does it say? What does it say? Oh, come on. We're almost there. Distributing. If it really is money that they're distributing, then I'll come back and I'll do an update. I'm hoping to hear from Al-Alaq. I'd love to hear something about the rate. Oh, you know what? There is an article. How come it's not here? There is an article. Okay, so I'm going to have to put it post-production. But I'll just tell you, it's a short article, but it's interesting in my opinion and could indicate something, or it could be nothing. But it does say now that Eid is over, you should expect a reduction in the dollar exchange rate. So we'll see. I'll be looking for that. And so the stock market's going to go back to work tomorrow. The CBI is going to go back to work tomorrow. So I'm anticipating articles tomorrow. All right. Thank you for listening. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate, but pay all your bills. Don't miss any meals. And yeah, thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of your morning, noon, night, whatever time frame you're enjoying this content. And until next time.